Patrick Molloy here, Natural Psychology. Today I'd like to speak about two areas that I've done a lot of work in over the years as a therapist, and they're both quite closely linked. So basically I've talked a lot over the last few weeks with Facebook Lives and posts about anxiety. And I think everybody realises that anxiety has been very much on the increase in recent years, particularly during the pandemic. There was a marked rise in cases of anxiety, not going to therapists, consulting with therapists or seeking help, and often not able to get it because of the circumstances and accessibility. I mean, it's partly why I've chosen to focus quite a lot of my attention on anxiety, because there's a lot of people out there who just haven't got the help they need, or the help that they've been given hasn't actually helped. And there can be a number of reasons for that, but anyway, that's another story. So today I wanted to talk about that other area that links in with anxiety, and it's the area of eating disorders. And there are a wide range of eating disorders out there, and I've spent a lot of time treating some of the main ones. I've seen many cases of anorexia, very many cases of bulimia, and also a lot of cases of binge eating disorder. And eating disorders have also been massively on the increase in recent years. As I said, so has anxiety. So what might be the link? It might seem obvious, really, that under circumstances where our usual outlets and our usual interests are restricted, it's a little bit like being in prison, isn't it? Or wasn't it? We kind of left our own devices, and quite often that means spinning our psychological wheels. And when we do that, we may be thinking about things in an unhelpful way, or focusing on unhelpful things. There's an awful lot of fear in the air, let's face it. There wasn't an awful lot of good news around during the pandemic. And of course, even now, post-pandemic, there's wars, there's economic problems. So things are not exactly rosy in the world. At least it would seem so. I'm sure there are lots of lovely things happening as well, but we don't get to hear about those very much, do we? So against the climate of negative circumstances and an awful lot of fear, a person may find, it's not surprising that a person may find that they begin to feel anxious. And a very common component of very common characteristic of someone who develops an eating disorder is anxiety. Some research would suggest that 2/3 of people who have an eating disorder also have anxiety in some shape or form, sometimes social anxiety. Sometimes there can be other issues like OCD, and also there may be some post-traumatic stress affecting someone who goes on to develop an eating disorder. So the figures for eating disorders, though, I was looking at this the other day, the calls to the BEAT is a charity that helps, offers at least some advice to people with eating disorders. Calls have gone up about 187% last time I looked, and that's massive. It's almost 3 times as many calls. And of course, if we look at the state of the NHS, unfortunately, I can imagine, like many other issues, people are not getting help when they need it, or certainly not getting it very quickly. And sometimes the help is pretty rudimentary. They're training people to provide psychological services, and the training is a bit paint by numbers and rudimentary, and a lot of people I speak to are not finding it particularly helpful, although I'm absolutely sure everybody's trying their best, so I'm not here to criticise. So eating disorders definitely on the rise. In fact, hospital admissions for eating disorders, it does get that bad. I think they're up about 87% last time I looked. So please don't quote me on figures because I've got a terrible head for figures, but you just get a flavour for it. It's awful. And so as a result, I've decided that I need to help. And people who know me, some of you who watch this will know already that between around 2011 and 2018, I spent an awful lot of my time helping people with eating disorders. With some wonderful results, I have to say. And nothing works for everyone, but my approach is rather different to what's generally on offer. I would work very intensively with people, sometimes over 1 or 2 days, and get so much done that many would report life-changing results. So I kind of feel I am here to help people with anxiety, but I also feel I need to step up and pick up that baton as well, the eating disorder work, which has been very successful for people, and feel duty bound really to offer it again. So hopefully that will be of interest to people. Many people who watch these lives, I know several of them, their lives have been touched by eating disorders. My own family hasn't been spared. It's really something that affects people very, very deeply, not just the sufferer, but their families. Hopefully that's of interest to people. If you have any questions about this or about how I might be able to help, please feel free to reach out and I'll be happy to have a chat. That's it for now. Speak to you soon.